is ILTV on the Hour, bringing you the biggest stories from Israel and the Middle East. I'm Lidar Lazi. Today is day 647 of the war in Gaza. Let's get into all the top headlines this hour. The IDF is continuing intensive operations in Gaza. Over the past 24 hours, the IDF struck over 150 terror targets. IDF troops are operating on the ground in Beit Hanun in the north and in Khan Yunis in the south. Meanwhile, Air Force targets included weapons storage facilities, anti-tank missile launchers, sniper posts, and terror cells. The IDF has also named the senior terrorist operative killed in the airstrike in Gaza in the past 2 weeks. Hamas and Islamic Jihad commanders who were involved in the terrorist efforts to regroup. The Army and Shin Bet issued a joint statement saying they are systematically working to prevent the terrorists from regrouping, saying we are tracking the commanders and will continue to eliminate them. The IDF also acknowledged that a strike near a Gaza water distribution point was an accident. As Israeli aircraft pounded across the strip, a number of civilian casualties were reported. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump remains confident that a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in Gaza can be reached within the week. Over the past several weeks, including the time before, during, and after the White House meetings with Prime Minister Netanyahu, Trump has repeatedly given timelines for a deal that have yet to materialize. In his latest comment, Trump said this.
Gaza, we are talking, and hopefully we're going to get that straightened out over the next week. Let's see what happens.
And also, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff is sounding hopeful. He will be meeting with Qatari officials in the coming days on the backdrop of FIFA. And Witkoff and Trump's optimism comes as talks in Doha appear to be at a standstill, although Palestinian sources are saying it's too soon to call the mediated talks a failure. Hamas is reportedly seeking what it calls improvements in certain provisions relating to the Israeli withdrawal from the city of Rafah on the southern border with Egypt. And Israel is reportedly planning to submit new maps for potential ceasefire withdrawal lines that mediators are hoping can lead to a breakthrough. And now, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is also chiming in. Abbas is calling for the release of the hostages held by Hamas. During a meeting with former British Prime Minister Tony Blair in Amman, Abbas also called for Hamas to hand over its weapons and said that Hamas will not rule over the Gaza Strip after the ongoing war ends. He reportedly told the former British leader that there needs to be an immediate ceasefire that includes the release of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails and unhindered entry of humanitarian aid to the enclave. Abbas called for the enclave to be handed over to the Palestinian Authority, a notion long rejected by Israel. And meanwhile, as reported here on ILTV yesterday, an injured victim from an Iranian missile attack on June 15th has died of her wounds. Filipina caregiver Leah Mosquera, aged 49, succumbed to her wounds suffered when the missile impacted a residential area in Rehovot. She was hospitalized in critical condition for nearly a month and underwent multiple surgeries and efforts by Israeli doctors to save her. Her body will be returned to the Philippines for burial. Meanwhile, 1 month after the start of the war, and close to 50,000 claims have been made by individuals and businesses for property damages from Iranian rockets. There were over 39,000 claims for building damages and just over 5,000 for damaged cars and 5,000 more for other damaged property. To date, the tax authority has paid out over 305 million shekels in claims, and the hardest hit cities were Tel Aviv with over 11,000 claims, then Ramat Gan and Rehovot. And that's all the news for now on this ILTV on the Hour. Stay tuned with us for updates every hour on the Hour here on ILTV. I'm Lidar Lazi. Thanks so much for watching.